Hello, it's me, and time for some viewer questions. I got a question from a Brian Shee, and he writes regarding a 3x3x4 supercube. And he's got this dilemma over here, and what he writes is, I either get this, the rest is solved. Please advise! So basically you can see that I got this right at the configuration that he's talking about. This is at the top, this is at the bottom. Everything else is solved, and he's almost there, except he's got this. This is one of the configurations on this puzzle that I didn't go through. I reviewed the solve of this puzzle, and it's actually a lot more challenging than you might think, so I highly recommend this. So you're almost there, but basically the strategy of this puzzle is what I did is you'd solve the top and the bottom first, and that's basically to get it coordinated so that when you solve the middle over here, then you're able to resolve the top, but everything is more coordinated. So I would direct you to that video to see what I'm talking about, but this is a particular configuration that you haven't seen. So the way to get out of this is, as long as you're moving things symmetric and you're trying to put them back into place, you shouldn't run into too many problems. But what I would do is hold it here, and you're going to do a 2R, and then after doing that you're going to try to move this to this. So you're going to try to move this outer white to the inner white, and the outer yellow to the inner yellow. So you've done a 2R, then do a 2U, so you can see you move this over here, and then do a 2D, like so. So what you've done is you've moved the outer to the inner and the inner to the outer, so then do a 2L. So that'll get these two back. Then what you do is you turn it 90 degrees here and do the same thing. So do a, don't worry about the bottom here yet, do a 2R. Once you do that, you're going to put these in line with this, the outers to the inners and the inners to the outers. So then you do a 2U and a 2D. So you can see these guys are all lined up, and simply do another 2L. So in essence what you did is a 2R, 2U, 2D, and 2L. And that's it. So this is fine over here, and you can see that these guys have to be put back in. So this is just done with the URF algorithms. Starting with these two, I'm going to swap these guys so I can get the red to the red and the orange to the orange. 2U, 2R, 2F, then 2U from the inner and 2U from the outer, then 2F, 2R, 2U, which swapped these guys just fine. Don't worry about what's happening here. Don't panic. Then I'm going to turn it over here and do the same thing with these two. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. Okay, after doing that, now all you have to do is continue swapping these until they're all back. So this color is fine. I just have to swap these two. These guys with these guys here. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. You can see that these are all placed back in. We've got one more to go, which is these two. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U, and it's done. So basically that's how you get out of that. If you run into similar situations, again, once you've solved this and then this to get these back, you just do the positioning. It's going to be symmetric, so eventually you're probably going to have to do another URF algorithm along this layer over here. So thanks for the question. If you have any other questions regarding this particular puzzle, let me know. If you'd like me to do another redo of this tutorial, since that was done a while ago, I'm happy to do that as well. It's a fun little puzzle. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hello, me again, and I've got another ghost cube question. This comes from Jacob Schneider, and he asks, I had an issue solving my ghost cube. I'm in a spot where on the last layer a triangular corner and wedge corner need to be swapped, which is these two over here. I watched your tutorial saying it's just false equivocation, but I can't figure out how to position the triangle corner to swap it with another triangle from the first layer in place. I always end up with it twisted in some manner. I'm sending an image with my situation for advice because I don't understand the swinging U algorithm either. Every time I perform it to swap two corners, it messes the cube up badly. If you could assist me with this, I would be greatly appreciated. I normally can figure out cubes within the first few hours of playing with it, and it upsets me that I couldn't solve this one after 4 hours of trying repeatedly. Well, Jacob, don't be upset. You're very, very close. So he was kind enough to send some images here. What I like about the viewer questions when you send images is it's a challenge for me to try to get it in exactly the confirmation. So here's one side. As you can see, you've got these two that need to be swapped. This is facing up. This wedge is facing out at you like that. Here's another image that that kind of shows the nature of that over here. And another image over here, which just shows this this portion over here as well. So basically, we have a situation where these two need to be swapped. So it sounds like there's also confusion about what the sliding U technique is. So I wanted to just touch bases on that real quick. I'll use this guy over here. All it really is, it's a 3 cycle. It's a way of moving a piece into one layer here without messing anything else up and just moving it into this layer. And what the sliding U technique shows, and you can do it from any angle, but let's say I wanted to move this piece here, this green, orange, and white piece into this red, green, and yellow piece here. So what you do is you move it in from one side, in this case the right side, so 2R, move it into here, swing the U so that this is on another side. So if you moved it in from a right, you got to swing it so that this is to the left. Then do a 2L. Now you swing the U, now you're going to undo what you just did. So you swing the U back to the right, do 2R, swing the U back to the left, and do a 2L, and then you can swing this back. So you see that nothing else is affected except for this one piece. But what happened is that this piece went to here, this went to here, and this went to here. So it's a way of doing a 3 cycle, but this is if you don't care about this layer yet, you just want to move it into this layer. So 2, if you wanted to continue with that, 2R, swing the U to the left. 2L, swing the U to the right. 2R, swing the U to the left. 2L, swing the U to the right. So you keep doing this 3 cycle if you want, and you'll eventually end up back where you started from. Now what I like about this is you can move it in from any layer that you need to. Let's say I had to take this and move it into here. So I do 2R from the middle, swing it to the left. Now I'm not going to move it from the left to the middle because this was the piece in question, so I'm going to move it at the end, 2L from the end. 2L, swing it back to the right, move this back to 2R, swing it back to the left, 2L, swing it back to the right. So as you can see, nothing else is affected except this, and the 3 cycling went from here to here, here to here, and here to here. So in this way, we're able to get what we need done. Now let's say we want to move it back. I want to take this orange and red, I want to move it back to here, and I want to cycle it with this guy. So that means I'm going to take this here, we can call this a middle R, 2R, and then swing the U to the end R, because that's where this one is. So 2R, swing the U back to the middle R, 2R, swing it back to the end R, over here and swing it back. As you can see, it put all that back in. So you can do that if you want to move it at the opposite side, but you don't have to do a 2R. Let's say you wanted to take this guy and move him up to here. So you'd move it up from the right, swing it to the left. Now we have to move it up from the left. So you're moving in the same direction that you did over here, so up from the left. Swing it back to the right and reverse what you did, bring it down on the right, swing it back to the left, move it down on the left, and swing this back here. So in this way, everything is fine here, but this came to here, this came to here, and this came to here. So too, if I wanted to get this back, and it gets pretty fast after a while, we want to take this over here, swing it up from the right, swing it to the left, up from the left. Remember, we've got to go up from the left, back to the right, down, here, and here. So that's what I mean by swinging U technique. So what we want to do is, first off, you recognize that this is an impossibility. You also recognize that the parity of this puzzle never changed, so it's not a parity problem because we didn't reduce it from one parity to another. You recognize that it was false equivocation, so you're 90% of the way there because you recognize what this is, which means one of these shapes can be equivocated with another one of these, and you also recognize that it was this triangle. So where does this triangle go? Well, let's line it up to where it can go with another triangle and see if it can fit in. So does this swap with this or this? Well, we don't want to move it from here because you can see it's upside down. So we have to position this in a way to where it will end up in the right position over here. So perhaps here and no. So it's just a matter of finding where it's going to fit in. We can check it here. As you can see, this doesn't fit over here. So let's see, we'll turn this around. What I'm doing is I'm just finding the angle in which I can match this here. Let's see. And I think maybe if I move it here perhaps. Okay, so where can I position it to where it needs to be? Okay, so right here, this is positioned right below here. I'll move this in just to see if it works, and yeah, so this could easily fit in this position just like this one can. So the way that this is going to work is I'll hold it over here, and I'm going to do my 3 cycle, basically my sliding U technique. This will come up on the right, so this is tucked in over here. I'm going to slide the U to the left. Now because we went up on the right, we're also going to go up on the left. Now we're going to slide the U back to the right, bring it down on the right now, slide it back to the left, bring it down on the left now, and slide it back. Now you can see that this is now fine. This is fine, but we 3-cycled it down here. This went to here, this went to here, and this went to here, which is fine because now this has been calibrated correctly. So then we just go about solving the last layer. We know this is correct. We know that this triangle belongs over here. So we're going to do the algorithm to hold this here and rotate this to here, this to here, this to here. Now look at the structure of this permutation of the last layer algorithm that I'm going to do. The form looks a lot like the sliding U technique. This will go here, this will go here, this will go here. So we've got U, R, UI, LI, U, RI, UI, L. So now you can see this is where it needs to be, as are these. So in your particular confirmation, you didn't have to do any orienting, you just had to do some permuting. So the permutation of the last layer algorithm is really a variation of a sliding U technique. But in any case, hopefully that clarified that, then you can just wheel this back in to where it's got to go. But it's a nice technique when you want to do quick 3 cycles without affecting one of the other layers. So keep the questions coming. Thanks for watching.